Mentioned yesterday about a nameless, faceless opponent. I don't think we've ever heard that from you. How do you get that into your guys this week?
Well, we do always talk about it. We just say it in a different way, right? I haven't really chosen those words. We just say representing the brand.
Yeah.
Which is just a different way to say it. Because we're always really playing us, honestly. And that's what we meant by it. It's just another way to. You have to be careful in coaching because there's so many. One of my favorite things is same as. You want to try to use as many words same as you can, because there's so much vernacular in the game of football. And kids, you're talking about your culture. The reason I think ours really works is we repeat it all the time. Like those kids know, like it's pinky integrity, and we go through it, and then at the end we wad all of them up and pound the fist, which is what this week is pound the fist.
You mentioned 6 MRIs yesterday. What did you learn coming away from that?
We had I think 3 surgeries, maybe 4 surgeries, 2 out for the rest of the year, and 2 more, a couple weeks.
Could you share who those guys are who are going to be out for the year?
We need to make sure those guys know and their family know first, and once those guys let their families know, we'll let everybody else know.
Jeff, I thought I saw Trey Smith warming up in pregame. Did something happen with him, or?
He's just, we were just being smart. It's just not the time of year to push him through. He could have played, it wouldn't have been smart.
We talked about a lot of the different injured guys yesterday, but I don't think we mentioned Kevin Davis, who got rolled up on there. Is he all right?
Kevin's fine. He played his best game of the year, as did T. Haynes, as did Vinley. Those 3 kids really played, as good as I've ever seen them play. And that was probably the highlight of the game, is how we blocked.
How did you end up adjusting the practice schedule this week to account for all the injuries you guys have gone through?
We usually go 16 periods on Tuesday, and we knocked it down to 12 periods, but we repeated any period that did not meet our standard, knowing that it could go up to 16 if needed. The bad news is it wasn't 12, and the good news is it wasn't 16.
Is it the rest of the week a similar kind of outlook, or do you think you'll take some off there as well?
I'll give it my single-digit guys in my leadership council. We set an all-time record on our Titan data for how hard we played, total effort. It wasn't even close. Like we blew it away, which is crazy in 3 years. That a lot of these guys are 3-year starters, and they all hit personal highs. They gave an unbelievable effort. So their bodies are obviously dragging a little today. So we were intelligent and just pulled back and cut the reps, but we did not cut our effort or our energy. We were very tough on them on that, but we just cut the reps back.
Given what you've dealt with, Coach, on the O-line in recent weeks, how encouraged are you about how good the running game looked over the weekend?
Yeah, really, really encouraged. We know we found us a left tackle now. And we know Vinley is real, and Frankie just keeps getting better each week. He's had to play so much, right? We know there's hope coming. There's 3 of those offensive tackles are still coming back, which will probably be. And we got good news on Luke Lopez, so that was good. So that's the good news, and we just got to keep getting better in there. And I hate we talk about it every week, but y'all have to, because y'all keep seeing them go down the field. So y'all have to ask me about it, and I've got to answer it. So, but it is what it is.
How are the guys holding up mentally, coming through a stretch of 3 tough games and having so many people go down at the same time?
Well, just as luck would have it, that's what we talked about this morning. At about 2:45, I woke up, and at about 3:05, I got in here to work this morning, and we talked about what is pound the fist, and pound the fist in life. There's always these 3 D's, right? There's doubt, there's disappointment, and there's defeat. And pound the fist really is a mindset of we have an objective we want to achieve and earn, but I can't guarantee them that's going to happen. But what I can guarantee them is that we don't represent the brand, we will have no shot at getting to the ultimate objective. And that's really what life is. It's a lot of defeats a lot of self-doubt, and a lot of disappointment if we all look back at our lives. Who can push through? Who's just tough enough? Who can just pound the fist? And that's what they got dropped with this morning. I came in on fire, and I'm going to stay on fire all week.
Jeff, what's been the reaction from your, I guess, rallying cry about trying to close the gap between a program like UTSA and Texas this week?
I've had quite a few boosters call and ask me, who to go to. I know they can do their own NIL deals. They can set those up themselves. Just got to get with the kid and go through compliance. There's Runners Rising. There's I always forget the name of the 210
Inspired.
210 Inspired that April and Sarah and Martin and Pat have been organizing, and they've been getting a lot. And we've got significant boosters that are dumping in nice amounts of money that our kids are fixing to start receiving. But I've explained that to my players as well. I don't want it to be. Our team will never be like that. I've got really good kids. We have really good kids, and we want to go serve. Right? I saw somebody did something for our line. I saw it on Twitter. O-line and D-line, and it was just a pretty picture of those kids getting to get to know a booster. And I don't even know what they've done for them. It's none of my business, but I just like it when I see my kids out in the community doing things with the community, because we need our city to get to know our kids, because you can't help but love them once you get to know them.
But in your view, is this the finest line that this has now come down to, that the community has to step up and boosters have to be there to make all this happen?
We got to do our part, right? And we got to keep playing good football. We got to give people hope. We've got to show people, my goodness, we could make the city of San Antonio next year we're going to the AAC. If we win that league, we're going to get invited to the playoff when that is time. Is it 24 or 25? When is there 26? Do we even know when that is? Whenever that time is, when we get in that league and we can win it, we're getting invited. I'm looking, they're voting today on the AAC schedule, which one we're going to adapt. And I'm looking at those teams, the away and the home. And all I'm looking at is facilities, coaching staff, NIL. Are we giving our kids, and I got asked that on the radio yesterday, are we through patting these kids on the back for playing the greatest teams tough? I said, I don't think you should ever be through patting kids on the back when they play very well. I don't know that you can hold them. Is it fair to hold them to that standard? If you're not giving them the same that everybody else is getting, is that fair? I don't know if that's fair, but we do have to get to a point where we're not happy as a city of just being close. We got to close that gap.
Jeff, what are you looking for against Texas Southern, trying to just get that run game going a little bit more, maybe?
Well, I think it always starts with our defense, right? Their quarterback is a difference maker.
Yeah.
He really scares me. He makes people miss. They scored 27 points on North Texas. Their running back is legit. He's really good. They got a receiver that's from San Antonio. It's a pretty good little player. And, I have a lot of respect for their coach. He's helped me with kids through the years when he was at A&M. He does a good job. He tells kids believe it. Defensively, they've got a lot of athletes over there running around, hectic, and they play hard for him. They pitched a shutout last week. So, but it's really not about Texas or Houston or Army or Texas Southern. It's about us. Are we representing our brand? Are we doing what we're supposed to do? If we do that, we're going to be fine.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Thank
Jeff.
y'all.
Thank you, Coach.